The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. All those who are sending me super thanks, I say thank you. AES had an emergency meeting yesterday when it was reported that the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, visited the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron appreciated Tinubu and how well Tinubu had been able to keep up with the good relationship that they have, and they are doing everything possible to extend and include Nigeria in everything that they are doing. Emmanuel Macron is losing grounds in the Francophone countries, and now he's trying to get more other countries to join to increase the number. We saw the forum that was held in Kenya, and some other African countries went, even though they are not part of the Francophone. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have succeeded in kicking out the French troops and doing away with France, which is not going down well with Emmanuel Macron. And Tinubu is also allowing himself to be used because Emmanuel Macron said their next summit or meeting is going to be held in Nigeria, Abuja. This is how far our leaders are going to always betray us and betray our progress. As much as we are trying to move forward to create the platform that Africa will be heard and be respected, we still have our leaders who are doing everything possible to move us backwards. That is why the professor of Russia, Alexandra Dungin, said that our unity is our strength. As much as we are trying to unite and to move forward, we have leaders who are willing to keep making the oppressor to succeed in bringing us backwards. So when will Africa rise up? And when will we have leaders that will champion the agenda of the African continent and for us to get the freedom and the recognition that we are looking for in this world? Credit to France 24 and credit to Faso Sevi.
By a Nigerian president in 24 years. The last time was in 2000. This is part of an effort by the Elysee Palace and Emmanuel Macron to create new ties with countries in sub-Saharan Africa that are not necessarily French-speaking or former colonies. And of course, Nigeria is a very important piece of that puzzle. With over 220 million inhabitants, it is an economic powerhouse on the continent. And today, while both presidents addressed the press to explain that they wanted to deepen the business cooperation between both countries, France is interested in developing investments in the country, also developing cooperation when it comes to energy, when it comes to rare earths, when it comes also to education and culture. As you know, there is a very vivid scene when it comes to digital and cinema creation in Nigeria, and France would like to be part of that. When it comes to President Tinubu, well, he stressed the fact that the country needed help in order to achieve food independence and indeed food security for the people. During his speech, he explained that what he wanted was for each child at school to have half a pint of milk and an egg, bread every day, and make sure that everybody could eat across the country. Also, he spoke of the security challenges facing Nigeria, explaining also that the country was a big opportunity for investors. He said that the market was open. He said it was easy in and easy out when it comes to investment and creating companies in Nigeria. So both presidents here to make sure that business ties in particular are boosted between both countries.
The chiefs of staff of the countries of the Sahel Alliance Confederation were received by the president of the Conseil National pour la Sauvegarde de la Patrie, head of state, General Abderrahmane Tiani. You report on their meeting this very morning in Niamey. We came to report on the meeting of the Chiefs of Staff of the Sahel Alliance countries, which we held this morning at state level. Sir, I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude to the Chief of Staff of Niger and the Chief of Staff of Burkina for the speed with which we've been able to get together this morning in such a very short space of time to examine this issue. Questions on the necessity of the geopolitical environment in which we find ourselves today. The end of the exchanges, it was really very future. We shared a lot of information. We had come to report the conclusions of our meeting to President Chani. During the meeting, the head of state encouraged the Malian, Burkinabe and Nigerian armed forces, before calling for more ARD. Commitment to meeting the Confederation's security challenges, declared Mali's Chief of the Armed Forces General Staff, Major General Oumar Diarra. At the end of the meeting, the President gave us very clear guidelines for analyzing the environment. Security geopolitics in our region. To make things worse, that's what AIS in all its endeavors, that's what we have to undertake. A highly strategic partner, with clear objectives that are independent of any political decision. And our authorities should give it to us. The audience took place in the presence of the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense, Army Coast General Salifu Moody.
Fond memory of the welcome I received during my visit to Nigeria in July 2018. As you know, this was not really the first time I had been to your country, where I'd had the good chance to stay about 20 years ago. For the past 10 years, our relationship has taken on a new and unique dimension. I would particularly like to pay tribute to the strength of our economic ties, as we have just left the Franco-Nigerian Business Council, and tomorrow, with your ministers, there will be an important business forum. So you are leading unique reforms in the history of your country, and you and your government, you are deeply reforming the Nigerian economy. So this is why France, apart from our historic ties and the position that we hold in terms of the energy sector and other sectors, we would like to do more for new technologies, agribusiness as well. And with the President and his ministers, we have defined several new lines of actions for investment of French companies in Nigeria, of course, in the energy sector, and also in the sector of rare metals and critical minerals, which are so necessary for the development of new technologies, and in particular, new decarbonized industries. In digital matters, creative industries, in the sector of defense, there are numerous opportunities, and also in the health sector, etc. So in each of these sectors, we have defined some lines of action. In terms of critical minerals and energy, we will be signing some supplementary agreements. So on the other side, over the last few years, you're starting to invest in France, and I'm very glad to see the partnerships that we have signed with several banks, and the strengthening of Nigerian banking in our country over the last 5 years. So we have become the first business hub for Nigerian business in France, and many banks have opened their offices here. We have financial partnerships and once again, agribusiness companies that have decided to organize partnerships and set up in France. Apart from these economic partnerships, which should make France a long-term partner to accompany you for the food security of your nation, and also to allow the extraction and the valorization of minerals to be a partner of your defense and security strategy with our industries. These are three axes that we are committed to. France will continue to invest through the 8FD. We have more than 320 million euros from 2025 for food security projects, urban mobility, for higher education, vocational training, climate change, amongst others. AFD group investments will be complemented by new investments via loans from the French Treasury to finance the modernization of livestock farming in Kwara, the renovation of teaching hospitals, and a mini hydropower plant demonstrator in Katsina State. So these are just a few of the projects that are planned. And as you know, I talked about the cultural and creative industries, but France is very much committed to invest in the artistic and cultural sectors as well, with many opportunities for young people. So in this regard, I'm pleased to announce that we've agreed with the President Tinubu that the next edition of the Forum Creation Africa will be held in Lagos in the second half of 2025. This event, the first edition of which was held in 2023, will allow us to bring together cultural actors from our two countries, but also from across the African continent. And this will promote the rise of African cultural and creative industries. We have also decided to accompany you with creating your own cinema industry, and this is in line with creating initiatives in France. So I'd like to remind you that the ambitions that you have shown for your country, we support those initiatives, and we have great confidence in you. I'd also like to congratulate you for increasing the role of Nigeria at the regional level. Your ability to be a major player in terms of defense, in the terms of the Ecowas region. This is an initiative that France would like to accompany, and also your desire to be a key player in terms of world governance. This is necessary for all of us, whether we're referring to human rights, whether we're referring to health or climate change, protection of the oceans. I would like to congratulate you for your leadership and the desire for us to work together. France and I commit to this. We will do everything possible to include Nigeria in the different bodies in terms of world governance, and I've already mentioned this several times over. We would like to see a greater presence of African countries, whether we're talking about the Security Council of the UN, the World Bank, the IMF, and in those bodies you have a full role to play. Well, I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, for your presence, the state visit, and for the state visit. I'd like to thank you for the energy and the dynamism, having transformed the state of Lagos. You are using that energy to transform your country for the better. And the energy that we have felt and amongst the ministerial team, and also amongst the different investors and the members of the business community, this is completely convinces the French government, but also the whole of the business world, the creative world, to invest massively and to make Nigeria a major partner for now and for the future. Thank you for your visit to Paris, and thank you for everything that you have done.
Very important areas. Food security is one of them. We cannot but invest in one another's economy. As Nigerian financial sector is involving in the France environment. Thank you for creating the conducive environment for them to flourish, and we are creating the same grant for investment in Nigeria economy for the French nationals. In the area of food security, it is a must. An hungry population is an unrestful population. And we hold the responsibility by all of us to put together a food security program for private sector investors to come in, invest, with the risk, the fears that they may have. We've been working on stabilizing the security system in Nigeria, and we are getting closer and closer. We are doing better now in the area of security. I can assure all the investors here that Nigeria is open for business. And I thank you for your collaboration. Vital to this is the education of our children. We have a vibrant youth population that is well educated and ready to be trained, skilled, and development of our economy. This, I will emphasize that we need the French expert and investment to do more in this area to help develop our youth population. Ask your intelligence to further de-risk the opportunity in solid mineral. We have this potential to diversify our economy from fossil fuel. Yes, we agree. The need for deepening the environment, but a starved nation will not care what weather or environment brings. But no child should go to bed hungry in the world, 21st century. We need to collaborate further for that. The agriculture sector is a very potential, a good example. If you they risk and promote, investment in dairy. If an African child is given a pint of milk in a class 100, there will be no problem going to the classroom. If an African child is assured of a good sandwich in a classroom or 1 egg a day, there will be no fear of learning. The more educated this population will be, the better and well-trained society. We have this responsibility that is unique to fighting terrorism. And no matter how much you invest in other African countries, we don't take Nigeria for a serious country and a partner in your crusade, you won't achieve the results. Nigeria is ready to partner with France so that we will have a very robust security operation that will stop migration. In Lagos, for example, we have tamed the Atlantic Ocean so far, and we are still, promoting marine and blue economy. Fishery is an important aspect of our economic potential. We need to collaborate more on that. On defense industry, yes, I really appreciate what you shared with us and the promise for the future. I want to say thank you very much for all the promises that we made today. And we assure the investing community that Nigeria is open for business. We assure you of a free market economy, easy in, easy out, no hindrance. Thank you very much.